Hello, Hateless Gaming here. Today I'm going to be bringing you a update or a video on the recent UI changes that just happened. They happened as of today. I just logged in this morning and have been kind of playing with them a little bit. And I thought I'd kind of show you the changes and kind of how I feel about it, I guess. And then we'll show you guys how it works, how it's organized, to make it a little bit easier for you veterans that are having a hard time with the transition, as it is a different UI. And change is always hard to understand and accept in EVE Online, and I understand that. So I want to kind of show you guys how to interact with it so that you guys can have a more convenient time. And we're just going to go ahead and go to my character Hateless here. When you open up your character menu, you're going to get a character menu like this. Before it was not vertical, it was horizontal. And now it kind of shows your character. I think for newer players, this is a little bit more appealing because you customize your character. You actually see your character now, which is pretty cool. Aside from that, it is different. It is 90 degrees different. It feels weird. To open up what was the old menu, you hit this little arrow right here, and it opens up your old character menu that you used to interact with all the time. In the character tab, you'll find the same things: your home station, your augmentations, your jump clones, your attributes, your biography, decorations, and expert systems. Interactions, again, is where you find standings, your kill rates, security logs, and combat logs for your losses and your kills. So that's really easy to locate and find. It's just like it was before, except the character is on the side instead of the top. It's just different. Feels weird. Pilot services are where you find your game time, how much game time you need, and you can get into the new Eden store here. And it looks like you have your skin list here and your history over here, which will show you skills and employment, which is fairly helpful. And yeah, that's really all there is on the character menu. The real highlight of this change, or the UI change, is the skill menu, which is been a hot topic today. Because we got opted into this without the option to opt into the old system. We were kind of forced into this UI for interacting with it. Nothing has changed with the skills. They all still train at the same speed. They all still work just like they did before, except we got this new weird AI. I'm going to start with the good. Skill plans are a thing now. They are absolutely fantastic. As time goes on, I'll be making skill plans for different things, and I will be using this to make New Bro lives better. But for you guys that have been playing for a while and have either, or if you made your own skill plans, it's really easy to import. If you have a clipboard of it, you can click this little thing, and you can replace all skills, replace all skill queue with those listed in the clipboard, and you can clear the skill queue really easily here. This little thing, and then you can create a plan and name the plan pretty easily. They're pretty easy to make, they're really easy to share, and it's really easy to get the skills in your queue that you need to fly the thing that you're being taught to fly, which is really awesome. But for those of you guys like myself that have been playing for a while and just kind of have in their mind what they're training, the skill catalog is probably where you're going to find or spend most of your time, and it's different. It's not like it was where Spaceship Command's the first one, and then you had navigation, and you had engineering, and then armor and shields. It's alphabetical. I need an adult. This is hard, okay? We gotta learn our ABCs again. But this is all in a different order, so you're gonna get mixed up. You're gonna have a harder time finding things as it's alphabetical rather than normal. I wish that there was a option here to, I don't know, sort what order these were in. As they moved them all, we can move them all again, and it's just a UI, so it couldn't be too hard to integrate. This does show your skills for the tree, but it doesn't show the skills for the specific thing. So when I hover over this, one thing that is really lacking here is that when you hover over this, you used to see how many skill points it would take to train the skill, and how many of those skill points you have trained for the skill. You can't even see that hovering over this. In the skill that you have in the queue here. So I've called our battlecruiser partly trained on this character. I don't know. It tells me how many days I have left, but it doesn't tell me how many skill points I need, and thus is a little bit more convoluted to convert into free skill points or how many skill injectors I need, as I don't have that math handily available. You can go look it up by eWiki, but it's not available to you in game, whereas it was previously available to you in game. That is probably my biggest complaint about this UI, is when you hover over it, it doesn't give you how long it's going to take or how long it's or how many skill points it is, so how many skill injectors you need. What I do really like about this skill tree, though, is it's actually fluid. So if you add things, it's just easy to do. You can just add things, and it's not an issue. Well, it wasn't an issue for me earlier. But if I add things, it feels more fluid, and then I can remove things pretty easily as well. It gives me little X's to remove rather than having to go and delete things. And I appreciate that. I feel like adding and removing things from the queue feels a little bit more fluid, as I can just kind of take things out and put them in, and then I can also reorganize them really easily. It doesn't feel as, I don't know. It feels more smooth to me, if that makes sense. Now that we got the big elephant in the room out of the way, it feels more smooth. And it's just kind of, it's different. All the skills are here, just like they were. You are able to hide skills that you can train now, so you can get rid of the skills that you can't train now. You can only show skills that you have prerequisites for. Little red means you haven't bought the skill book yet. You can show all skills. You can show just the skills that you currently have. A little check mark means that it's done. A little plus means that it's not trained, or the little plus means it's already in the queue. And then the blue plus means that it's not in the queue, but you can add it to the queue. And then I think that's all the little symbols that I see here. There's a little plus, all skills. So I believe red is things that I don't have the prerequisites for. But what's cool is if you click this, you can get all of the missing skills and the skill books for it just by clicking the thing. It'll tell you, it's quick and easy. You can buy all the skill books all at once that you need, and that makes it really simple to build skill plans and build skill queues because everything's just kind of provided for you. The pause training button is really apparent. The apply skill points button is super apparent, but again, it's not transparent exactly how much skill points each skill is taking. It just shows me the days. It doesn't tell me the skill points, which varies via attributes, which are still found in character attributes here, which I believe I've done a video on. I can't recall. Yeah, finding the skills isn't any harder than it was before. I don't really have any big complaints. And there's one more complaint here, and a bug that is going on today that I'm going to show you guys, but maybe pat fairly quickly. When it comes to resizing this menu, I'm not a fan. So it resizes, and it'll stretch out. Like, this is as small as I can make things. I can't make them smaller. And it just adds dead space when I stretch it. It doesn't change the size of anything. It just adds empty space. And so this is a big menu. It takes up most of the client screen. So it's kind of hard to do it while you're doing other things. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and undock, and I'm going to show you guys something really weird. But I really don't like this thing right here. If we just were able to make it a little bit smaller and remove this square of dead space, because even on full screen, if I go full screen, this is just a big empty square showing me no information at all, and it's just empty, and it's forced to be in there. Like, I can't make it smaller and get rid of that. Like, if this was tied up against this and this was tied up against that, I'd be happy. But the fact that the resizing of it is just very functionable makes it somewhat frustrating, as it just changes the size of the window. None of the buttons change, none of the order or anything changes. I would like, with all the customization that EVE Online has, a little bit of customization here with what order these are, or maybe I want this to be here and this to be down at the bottom, because this was at the bottom and then this used to be below it, and the whole thing was wide, and when you resize it, it just resized all the text, and it just kind of worked. You can make a little tiny character skill menu that fit right here that you can play with while you're flying, or, you know, it was a little bit more flexible in that way before. But here's the weird thing. If you have a module at all showing on your account, you can activate that module by clicking on the module here. I heard reports of a story of somebody actually burning out their module because they clicked on their module, it being visible. I can't click the ones here that are completely covered, but if there's 1 pixel of a module showing, you can activate it and click it through the menu, which is really, really weird. Like, I can activate the geckos, I can interact with, actually I can't interact with that as well as I thought it'd be, but it's just a little weird, and it's a really niche thing, but other menus don't do the same thing, and this wants to dock, which is somewhat annoying, but other menus like the market don't do the same thing. So if I have 1 pixel there, I click through, I can't activate the module there. So it is just that window that has the ability to click through if 1 pixel of the module is available. It's just a really weird thing, and hopefully that passes. Yeah, but that's really what I got for you guys. Just kind of showing you guys the new UI. I personally like it. I think it's an improvement from before. However, it does have its flaws and it doesn't quite feel polished. With that being said, make sure you guys fly fun. If you have your comments or your thoughts, make sure you comment below on what you think about the new UI, because I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And keep on bringing each other up, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Docking permission required.